Thursday. Welcome to On the Move with Nan and Cam. And today we're joined by Brantley Tyndall.
Brantley.
So Brantley is the director of Bike Walk RVA here at Sports Backers. So welcome, Brantley.
That's good to be here.
Wonderful to have you. So you're a very familiar face around here. You've been here how many years now?
I think I joined about 6 months after you did. So
okay, so you're like at 10,
years.
11, yeah. I know, it's not wild. I keep telling people 10, and then now I'm like, I got to change it because we're coming up on 11. So tell us a little bit about your history at Sports Backers and how you came to be an 11-year here.
Sure. I'll say about that seniority thing. We have like a string in our office with all of our portraits, and I think most of them are our first staff photos. So I've got my old first staff photo, which has me with a space background.
Mm-hmm.
I came and I wanted to make waves and do something different than everyone else. But as people leave, we move towards like the older section of the string.
Yeah.
I'm like on the left side of the string now.
It's weird.
I think you are too.
I'm not even up there yet.
Oh, you're right. We haven't put in any tiles. Is Dion up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
that's
good
okay.
thing you mentioned that.
We found out we have some work to do, y'all.
Yeah.
I should have just print off my own picture. And
we'll do it after this. I'll go downstairs. That's a good use of coloring. Come in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was hired in our new bike walk program back in 2013, our second hire, and we as a community engagement coordinator, I guess.
Okay.
And we didn't really know what that role was going to be when they hired me, but they said, to some degree, figure it out. And Bike Month, which is one of the things we'll be talking about today, is one of the things that we created from the ground up as a way to engage with the bike community as a part of our work to support biking and pedestrian infrastructure, which is, not the funnest of subjects for a lot of people. And we use Bike Month to get people plugged into that process.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big part of your job is you do make it fun. I know it can be a tough topic to cover for sure, but especially with like all of the analytical things behind it and all of the terminology that goes on for somebody who is not like well versed in that. But I feel like that's a huge thing that Bike Walk, and especially with things like Bike Month, making it like digestible and user friendly and exciting for people to still like want to find out more about.
And changing the theme every year. I feel like that helps too.
Loving the Bike Walk or the Bike Month shirt today. So this month's theme is Bike for Your Right.
Mm-hmm. For all the Beastie Boys fans out there.
Yes.
I was actually singing it on my way up the stairs this morning because I saw the shirts downstairs. Now, every time I see it, I just like got to
This morning, so today happens to be Bike to School Day, so we're about a third of the way through Bike Month. And the Safe Routes to School coordinator for the city of Richmond was leading a bike bus, so like a big group ride of kids to Linwood Holton Elementary School, which is on the Fall Line Trail. So it's like the perfect bike school. And she's biking with 30 kids and their parents, and she's blasting Beastie Boys on her like little Bluetooth speaker. And I came up behind them. I was like, "That's very appropriate."
Yeah,
it's appropriate.
Those kids are having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've actually seen the Beastie Boys in concert. Fun fact.
All original members.
All, yes, yeah. It was because I think so because it was circa 2008.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
it's very possible.
I think it was. It was when they were doing the rock if they were doing the concert, they were at the Richmond Coliseum with a bunch of other people. Yeah, it was
I saw the
wild.
Jonas Brothers there. I found the pictures of
kin to the Beastie Boys, just very similar.
Yeah, same thing. Different. So how did RVA Bike Month become a thing? I know you said you were a part in like introducing it kind of and like helping us move forward into it. So how did it become a thing originally?
Sure. Well, let me show you first.
Oh yeah, show us all the swag.
All of our viewers, go to rvabikemonth.com. We've had that URL for a few years now. But RVA Bike Month is a month of events, right?
Yep.
And when we started this in 2014, I'd been in the job for 3 months, and we're like, okay, how are we going to get people engaged with bike advocacy early in the process? We didn't have a lot of bike lanes. We weren't talking about the Fall Line Trail. The Virginia Capitol Trail was mostly completed at that point, but still had a ways to go. We had a lot of people chomping at the bit to get involved with bike advocacy. How do we give them something to do between the boring city council meetings and the less boring but sort of requires a little bit of know-how, like public hearings where our transportation officials show you what they're planning to do. Those don't happen every day. They're like once or twice a year. And so we need to keep people engaged throughout the year and remind people that it's not about the boring stuff. It's about riding bikes. And so like one month of the year and a couple of months in planning for it, We really focus on engaging people, getting people enthusiastic about bike riding. It's a celebration of National Bike Month, which is 70 years old now. Weather changes, and we want to bake this into people's annual kind of calendar and experience. And we developed a process that I have now seen other localities adopt, which is to make it very much about volunteer leaders.
Mm-hmm.
That we created a formula that the people who are already riding in the Richmond region, they have all the enthusiasm, they have the bikes, they know the best roads, they already are biking to local businesses that they want to support. Let's encourage them to like formulate their own events, and we publicize them. And essentially, that's it. There's a little bit more that goes into making it, in our opinion, a successful bike month versus one that could be more successful. But generally speaking, we just have a lot of great riding volunteers in our network, and we help give them something to be really excited about.
Yeah, I feel like that's something I've been focusing on too, with it, like being on the DI advisory council, and then like doing everything on social as our community partners in running and walking groups, and just to see that it's the same thing with Bike Month. And like there's so many other organizations that are doing these things, but us giving them a platform and like hey, everybody check out this group, and just meeting them where they are.
So I think one way to make Bike Month not be very fun, at least in our Richmond region, is if like it's 70 events that I produce.
Yeah.
Like that's not very fun.
Not very fun for community, and then also like not very fun for you. That'd be a lot of work. I think Bike Month is already a lot of work for you. Yeah, I think you've already got plenty of work. I don't know if you want to plan
Brantley events.
70 events. That sounds like you might be going crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, I just feel like that is a way to like authentically inspire community too. Like if they're inviting people that we might not have in our network or might not be familiar with us, but it's like they're wanting to show up because they know somebody else that's coming to the ride or somebody that organized it, and then they feel a lot better about it coming and finding out more about Bike Walk.
Yeah, having done this now for 11 years, we're in our 11th year of Bike Month. You mentioned community. I think community is a really big part of it, but the way I think of it is it's like communities on top of communities on top of communities, and the bike is what like brings them all together.
Mm-hmm.
So one example is we have a ride that shows trees. And we've actually, it's like a tour of trees. This started in 2020 as in the year that we had to go virtual, and all of our rides were solo. So we just basically had to publish routes and like, good luck, get out there and enjoy it. And it was a self-guided tour of 12 really iconic trees around Richmond.
I like that.
Called the Treasure Hunt. And it was,
Love a good
these
name.
trees are actually amazing. Like some of them you would never find on your own. Some of them are kind of out in public, but they're all different species. They were usually big, magnificent specimens themselves. And you wouldn't necessarily think that trees are like something that you would put on a Bike Month calendar. But our strategy over the past, at least like the past 7 or 8 years, has been how can we add bikes to things that people already like? Trees or ice cream, tacos and pizza, the fall line, river, history, films, happy hours, and like just pepper bikes into all the things that people really like already. And it gives people a reason to come out day after day instead of it being 70 of the same kind of event.
Yeah. Also, I think, again, it inspires people who might not otherwise think to attend stuff like that. Like if you're, maybe you ride your bike every now and then, but then one of your friends asks you to go to pizza crawl and they know you're super passionate about pizza. Like then you're doing something that you might not otherwise have done.
I'm going.
Yeah. So what are some of we've talked about some of the past ones, and some of the ones keep rolling over, but what are some of the can't miss events, and which ones on the calendar are you looking forward to the most?
All right, well, I'm gonna have
bring the calendar back out.
Let me think about it here.
One that I think looks wild, I'm going to answer for is the murder. I've just been seeing Louise promoting it, the Murder She Rode, where you're supposed to dress up like Murder She Wrote and ride your bike, which I love.
Former director of Bike Walk RVA, my old boss, is still in the family, and she's got an event called Murder She Rode. Louise, if you're listening to this, I think you would identify. You have some like wonderful old lady vibes.
Yeah. And, she would like that.
And this is like a very cool in line with who you authentically are. Yeah, that one new for this year. I don't exactly know what to expect, but I can trust that Louise knows what she's doing. Some of the ones that are like staple events we have every year, or pretty much every year, are the taco tour and the pizza crawl.
Yeah.
You can imagine it is a big bike group ride
I'm sure.
to our favorite places to eat, and they end up always being just a great party. We always want to pepper in some advocacy and sort of infrastructure oriented events, and so we've actually color coordinated most of those to be blue instead of orange on our calendar. So we have a fall line tour tonight. Actually, every year we get someone to go out somewhere on the future fall line trail and either give a tour or a happy hour or bring in some of the professionals who are building it, the people who are responsible for the funding, for the planning, and the construction. And so this year we're going out to Chester. It's a little farther afield than we usually go. We have a walking tour out there.
Yeah.
So have you been on the Chester Linear Trail?
No, I learned about it last year, actually.
What are you doing tonight? You want to
go? I can't go tonight.
Well, we'll get out there. We'll get out there.
Yeah. But I always tell people I don't go over there anymore because I just see too many people I know and I don't like that. But Kristen actually told me about it. Yeah. Kristen told me about it last year, and I was like, I had no clue that was. It's right by ECOF, isn't it? Isn't it? That's where I went to elementary school.
So Kristen actually, this was during the pandemic years. She did a 60-mile run.
Oh yeah,
we
were just talking about that recently.
Colonial Heights, and I think it was in 24 hours.
Yes.
Right? So she lived not far from, or she lived in Chester, and it wasn't far from the Chester Linear Trail, but it was like a mile or two. Yeah. And she did out and backs to the Chester Linear Trail and back home. I think it was a 5-mile round trip, and she did 60 miles of it. And I went out and joined her for a few of the legs. But so she's intimately familiar with this.
Yeah.
But so that section of the fall line was previously a train rail bed, and so that's why it's easy to walk on now. It'll be a great section of the fall line. I recommend going out there. There's a bike lane public hearing, and I'll say prior to the pandemic, the city of Richmond would always have a big bike lane hearings where they would do the publicly required public hearings for bike lane projects, and we have 20 miles of bike lanes that we'd be able to review. That's being brought back in a different format with their Richmond Speed Symposium that's on May 14th. But check out the calendar. There's a little bit of variety for everyone. I will say a new thing for this year is we're creating a community conversation around the replacement of the Mayo Bridge. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. We've never done it before. We'll never do it again. And we have a lot of partners, Venture Richmond, Manchester Alliance, Chaco Partnership, coming together to make a really big event where we can create a community-inspired vision for what the replacement should look like. Should there be a bike lane? Should there be traffic calming? How many traffic lanes should there be? Can we put green space on it? What should the design be as it relates to the city of Richmond just recently buying the Mayo Island? And that's going to be a new, hopefully going to be a new park right in the middle of the James River. Should this bridge make an improvement for how people get there? People fish on that bridge. Should they be able to fish on it in a new design, or should it really be designed for them to have their new park on Mayo Island? These questions have not been answered yet. So that's on May 20th. And if you want a little bit of insight about bridges in general, 8 days before on the Sunday, it happens to be Mother's Day, and we get your mom a bike. This is the third or fourth time that a bike walk champion of ours has put on a Crossings of the James history tour. Super fascinating. He tells the history of the Mayo Bridge, Manchester Bridge, Belvedere Bridge, some of the train bridges, the Teapot, of course. He knows his stuff. Is really engaging. And did you know that the Manchester Bridge used to be called the Singing Bridge?
No.
The Singing Bridge?
It was called the Singing Bridge because the previous bridge to the Manchester Bridge was metal, or it had a metal grate. Okay. And it would make a hum as you drove over it.
No.
And it made the different directions made different sounds, and they harmonized with each other.
Wow.
It's a little imagine like a bridge of a wind chime or something.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
That's just one little tidbit that you could learn on the Crossings of the James history tour.
That was Father's Day. My dad would be all over that.
Yeah,
that man loves some history tours.
I feel like two things to add, actually. One thing, which they're not on here because they kind of just got finalized. Next Thursday on the 16th, we'll have Jeff Lenowski out here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
As a River Rock influencer, and he'll be doing a ride through Forest Hill Park, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
Cool.
Free mountain bike ride. So he's going to do...
71
out on the
events.
Trails. Yeah,
71.
We're in there.
71.
So you can go to multiple things on the 16th.
Yeah. What if you already have something planned?
That's you bring up an interesting point. How does this happen? How do we get 70 events on a calendar with 50 or more volunteers? And then some of the events are what I like sort of call like professional or more polished, like
Right.
Dominion Ninja River Rock,
Right.
the Cap to Cap ride, which is this weekend. We put them on the calendar. We claim a little bit of credit in terms of like the number of people who ride overall for the month. Until someone tells us we shouldn't do that.
Right.
But, we are super thankful for our partner and sort of higher level events that do get included on mostly grassroots calendar. But when you have 50 people in a room and we throw a party every year to say, hey, let's build out this calendar, we use Post-it notes in a big calendar, we write it all down. A lot of people want the same Saturdays and a lot of people want the same Thursdays. And so part of the role that we play is, we don't make any hard choices or tell anyone what to do. We try to help people spread the stuff around. So can you, we got 2 e-bike rides on the same day. Like, wouldn't it make sense to either partner with them and have one big ride, or can you pick a different date? Yeah. So we, we're going to have some conflicts, and it's sort of unfortunate that that's how it goes. But it also is a great thing that we have so many things.
Yeah, offers a lot more. Yeah. What's Yawn at Dawn?
Yawn at Dawn is a sunrise ride that happens. It's actually every week from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Another sort of like technical element is we tend to not put things that recur on the calendar. Like these are almost all only happens once. They're specially made for Bike Month as opposed to every recurring ride that happens, because that would be a lot as it is. Right. So we want to make sure that these people know that these are special. And what often happens is like the Yawn at Dawn organizers will make that something of a special ride. That's why it gets on the calendar. The big exception is Bike Monday Bros, who are just a bunch of really great guys who ride from the Starbucks and the Fan throughout the year, but like they got started because of Bike Month, and they have a really good story. And their ride is super inclusive and chill, and like they stop and they talk to people on their porch, and it's like
I like that.
It's a great vibe. We just interviewed one of their co-founders yesterday, actually, in our first webinar.
Nice. Another cool thing to mention is if you do come to Dominion River Rock on, I think, Friday or Saturday, Subaru is going to be doing a giveaway of a bike from a bike shop. So all you have to do is like scan the QR code to enter, and you might get a free bike.
And you'll have half the Bike Month left.
And you can use it at the rest of Bike Month.
Can people find the webinar from yesterday somewhere to watch if they would like?
It's on the Sportsbackers YouTube page.
Okay, perfect. Cool. What is your favorite? Which one are you, if you have to pick one?
The one event
the one
that I haven't already mentioned.
Brantley, that you haven't already mentioned. Well, you could have already mentioned
a bunch. So
if you've already mentioned it, that's fine.
Right. I really have to say the pizza crawl is like the thing. It sells out. That's the one thing. It's not mine. It's someone else's baby. I just visit that baby. But it's 13 or 14 years in, and it is evolved over the years. So we used to just, as 40 or 50 people would just show up at pizza companies and eat like outside the front door, like someone holding a stack of boxes. And now it has evolved with some great volunteers to be basically a tour of parks, and the pizzas get delivered.
That's a great idea.
It's a real fun time.
It's actually really
much more scenic. Yeah.
And room to spread out.
Nice. I guess I was trying to think of a way to transition to this, but I feel like it's already something that you do. Like it's a part of your job and like something that you're always working on. So tell us a little bit about any updates on the Fall Line Trail. I know we just went to that
Ashland groundbreaking
a couple weeks ago. But for the people who might not be as in the know, which you should be in the know because you follow us on social media, but for the people who aren't, give us a little update on it.
So right at the beginning of this year's Bike Month calendar, we were able to put on the late April the Ashland, Hanover, and a little section of Henrico groundbreaking for the sort of the first big section of the Fall Line. There was a half-mile section in Ashland that was built before the Fall Line was even a concept, and there's about a third of a mile section that's under construction now in Henrico near our new proposed office, where we're excited about. I don't know if you mentioned this on the podcast yet.
I think we have.
In 6 months or so, if all things go to plan, we'll be moving our office right to the Henrico's trailhead of the Fall Line.
It was so long ago, not that long ago, and now it's 6 months.
I know. It is wild when you put it like that. Like the end of the year doesn't sound long. That sounds further to me than saying 6 months, but you're right.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is we've been here for 11 years and we're finally getting a Chipotle and a Starbucks.
I know. It's going to be a far move. Whatever.
That's right. It's only about 2 miles.
That's right.
So what is the Fall Line? It is a 43-mile paved trail, very much like the Virginia Capitol Trail, that will run from Ashland to Petersburg. Where we currently have sections, I guess a little over 5 miles under construction. But in the next year, we expect 20 miles to be under construction, not all at once, but phases with 20 miles. And all of Ashland to the edge of the city of Richmond and Bryan Park should be completed in the next 3 or so years, which is lightning fast. It feels like we just broke ground on it. And that's like 13 or 14 miles contiguous. So you'd be able to, that's a full ride for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we'll be right at the trailhead. Henrico's putting in new bathrooms. It's very important for trail amenities.
Yeah.
And we expect 10 miles, another big section, a 10-mile section to be under construction early next year in the southern end. So from Petersburg up to Chester, the linear trail area, will all get tackled at once. That's 3 localities. That's Petersburg, Colonial Heights, and Chesterfield. So the fall line goes through 7 localities. They're all super on board. The Central Virginia Transportation Authority is the single biggest funder of the trail, and they're really proud of where we come so far. And it's going to be a lot of fun over the next 5 years as we see it built out and we start to build out some of the placemaking elements that are along the trail. So if you go to the FallLineVA.org website, falllineva.org, you'll see the Fall Line vision plan that we've produced. Oh, there's Nan right
Yeah, it'll blow up at the side of my face.
Where we show essentially like different elements that we want to see built along the 43 miles, benches and
which is really cool.
Bathrooms, community art, large scale. So, I think of like kind of corporate scale art.
Yeah.
Where are there opportunities for trail oriented development? Like where should there really be a coffee shop that there isn't a coffee shop now? Where should there be trailheads? Like where will people be planned to access the trail? And then we're helping our localities create a vision for how they can connect the trail to schools, parks, and other like major trail-oriented destinations. We're really excited of the Fall Line as it's a line now from Ashland to Petersburg through the heart of the city. It's within 2 miles of 95 public schools. So like you think about
crazy.
how people will actually use the Fall Line to get to school.
Yeah, and seeing all those kids like biking to school.
That's right. Today's not bike school day.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, that's so many kids.
That is
that bike to school, which is like, I don't know. I guess because I don't live close enough to ever have been able to bike to school, but a lot of schools are in like communities or in neighborhoods, so that makes a lot of sense for them.
I think I live in a very walkable neighborhood, but then also like they're putting even simple things like the traffic or the crosswalk that they're putting in now right by the new office and right off Bryan Park Avenue area. Like that, I'm sort of like, that's like wild that we haven't already had something like that.
Right.
But because people walk up and down Lakeside Avenue all the time. Yeah. And even like on the other side of Lakeside Avenue, there's not even like a good sidewalk section for people. So it is really neat to see. How far, because you're a Lake Cityan now, how far away are you from the trail?
I will be 2 blocks from the trail.
Oh, that's exciting.
I'm like a block and a quarter. Even.
Okay. Yeah. So like we're the same. Yeah. I'm like 2 blocks from the trail as well. So it'll be really exciting.
I like to say that me and Dion have been talking about it, that with this new trail in the backyard, it might give us a reason to get out and get active during the workday. I don't know how much that's going to work.
For Dion, we know it's going to be the winter time and the fall time. Summer, maybe. He takes his hiatus.
Maybe. And because there will be like a shower.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Been here 11 years and we don't have a shower at the office.
Yeah, so I'm a dirty gremlin, so that's fine with me.
Funky.
Yeah, it's okay. Also, like, it's still hot in here today.
That's right.
Yeah, we told them our last podcast was recorded from home because of the air conditioning broke, and it's fixed, but it's still steaming.
I'm just sweating.
I'm sweating too. It's steaming up. Kind of bopping back to Bike Month for a second. How does that fit into like our overall advocacy plan and strategy for Bike Walk RVA?
Great question. So we're primarily an advocacy organization. We have, in the past 11 years, raised, with our community partners who really do this, our government partners who really do the official work, but we've helped to raise over $300 million for bike and pedestrian infrastructure. And it's not just me, and it's not just Nate and Cam going to public meetings. We show up with a lot of trained advocates, people who've gone through our Bike Walk RVA Academy. When we've graduated 220 people over the past 11 years through that program. We train them to be effective at public testimony about what good bike infrastructure looks like and how to advocate for it, what meetings to go to, how to develop relationships with their local elected officials, but also how to be stewards in their community, like join their PTA, join their neighborhood association. Those are where a lot of these conversations actually happen. And when they're not going to public hearings and city council meetings, they need something else to do, and like this is a creative way to engage with their communities in an authentic way. So if there's like an ice cream ride, it's probably to ice cream places in that person's neighborhood, where they can meet their neighbors, they can talk about bike lanes, they can get people who maybe don't bike around a lot, maybe they only bike because it's Bike Month, on new bike lane projects, and where they're like, wow, this really made a difference in my life. And we kind of win people to the movement by getting them involved.
Right.
I'll say, it's nearing the end of the fiscal year, and so we're all thinking about work plan and strategic plan, and so we're doing some operational stuff here, and so it's top of mind to tell you that May is always Bike Month. We start playing it in February and March typically, and sometimes it takes a couple months to make it all happen. Our academy is in the spring, so usually February and March, and then in the fall, the next thing that you'll be able to do after Bike Month comes and goes is our Trailblazer annual fundraiser and kind of hike series. We've done it in the fall, we've done it in the spring, we're going back to the fall. So October this year, look out for the fall line hikes, and you can get your annual fall line t-shirt and other kinds of swag.
The t-shirts are sick. You're gonna want one.
Limited edition. If you don't buy it, you don't get it again.
That's right.
Cool. So what are ways that our listeners right now can get involved with Bike Walk?
Well, the very best way to do it is to sign up to our email list, which is on. And I gotta tell you, I don't like a whole lot. I'm on a lot of email lists. It's like in 2024, you're really asking people to sign up to email lists.
Yeah. Right.
Here's how it works for us. It actually works really nicely. We don't send too many. And when we do, they're often zip code targeted. So it's something that's in your area.
That is nice.
And so we're not, you don't get hit with every bike lane project. But if there's a public hearing in your neighborhood, we let you know about it so that you can go and actually provide those comments. And we give updates about Bike Month and how it's all developing. And then come December or January, the General Assembly comes around, and there's always another thing to be involved with there with funding bike trails and bike policies. So. Yeah, we have seasons, I guess, in the bike advocacy world. We're currently in the fun season, and but the meetings season is all the other ones, and you can find out about the best meetings through our email list.
Yeah, that's where
you can make a meeting fun.
Yeah,
it's all about your mindset.
I was about to say, yeah, definitely.
Well, great. Thanks for joining us. Do you feel like we missed anything before we get to your this or that's?
Not at all.
All right.
There were this or that. That's right. I was told.
Yeah.
3 rapid fire questions.
3 rapid fire ones.
No clue.
Vanilla or chocolate?
Yeah. You take the first one because
I feel like we got this answer out of you already.
Yeah.
But just to make it 100% clear, this or that, pizza ride or taco ride?
You're making me choose between my children.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we do that with everybody here.
Yeah.
We made people pick between their animals. We're mean.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say taco tour on this one.
Okay. We thought you were gonna say pizza.
My friend who puts it on, I got married last year, and it was our wedding party.
Oh, I forgot about that.
The first inaugural tour to taco, so the latest iteration of the taco tour, put on by a good friend of mine who I've ridden a lot of bikes with. She did it kind of for us, so
that's
as
fun.
a special memory.
So that's
What was your favorite taco that you experienced on the taco?
E2 Mama, just
is that the one that
excelled.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I've had not a taco, but I've had something else for maybe just chips and dip, honestly. But it was really good.
Chips
yeah.
and dip.
Great. All right. The next one, I know we share a love of this item. Oat milk lattes. Big oat milk latte fan here. That's my normal order. So are you going, people get seasonal with their coffee, I know. Or there's people who are just diehard all the time. Are you going hot or iced?
If I'm ordering an oat milk latte.
Yes.
For yourself.
Yes.
I don't get the whole milk option. I have to go oat milk.
You can go. Are we off oat? Are we on whole?
That's interesting. I'll take it anyway, but I don't usually order oat milk latte.
Okay, I thought you did at one point in time.
That was an Emily thing.
I was gonna say,
it was an Emily thing.
She's,
Okay.
She's 100%.
But are you a latte fan?
I do actually.
Okay. Well, then just your latte. Are we going hot or cold?
Right now, I'm gonna say cold because I'm actually sweating.
We're burning.
It is 100 degrees.
I'm currently. I think I'm past glowing and I'm just wet.
Yeah, I don't feel great. It's a rapid fire because Brantley wants to exit this room.
Literal fire question.
Okay, ice. But or do you seasonally change up your drink? Or
Yeah, I'm a hot black coffee most of the time. I mean, even this morning. Hot black
He
coffee.
does even more grown
when
than
you get, I was gonna say. So Cameron asked me about the latte thing. She asked if Cameron's a sweet coffee girl, and she asked if I get my latte with flavors, or if I just am plain. And I was like, most of the time it's plain. And she goes, "Wow, you're grown."
Yeah, you're grown, but you're drinking hot black coffee.
Yeah.
You're like official.
I'll do that if I have to, but I like a splash.
I will never
of
do that.
something.
Actually.
Okay.
So
All right. The next one's also choosing between your children, so get
Black
ready.
coffee, okay.
Yeah.
Black
Oh,
coffee is
yeah.
the way to go. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to take a point of privilege here talking about black coffee. There's a wonderful movie called Coffee and Cigarettes, and I think I should say don't smoke, but it is a great movie.
Do not
It's a
do
Jim Jarmusch film, so it's like has like kind of an indie vibe. It's all black and white. It has some like really good cameos, like Iggy Pop is in it, Jack White and Meg White, Tom Waits, some really great acting and actors in it. But it's like it's a really thoughtful piece, and it's like 11 short vignettes, and the only thing that separates them, or that the only reason they're all compiled, is they're all black and white. They're all like a bunch of famous people sitting around a table talking to each other with coffee and cigarettes, and they're all very different.
I know it's a black coffee.
It's a super good movie. And I know to black coffee.
Well, I know this again, not the last one yet, but will you drink a iced black coffee?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cameron can't handle that.
Sick.
Yeah. She used to work at Starbucks. You got to check out how much cream she's putting in things. She's wild.
Well, Starbucks burns their coffee, so that's
Yeah.
like it's easier to drink black coffee if it's not burned.
Yeah, I don't drink.
Sorry, Starbucks.
I know they drink their drip coffee. We're not a Starbucks podcast.
That's right.
We're
Speak for yourselves.
Yeah, Target only. Okay, last one. Bike or walk?
Oh yeah, Mike, for sure.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
bike.
All right. That was easy. We didn't
Okay.
know. Yeah. Cameron was thinking that would really maybe trip you up since you're the
Bike Walk
unofficial.
RVA.
I'm not going to say
Mayor
it's
of
Bike
both
Walk's
bike
opinion
or walk.
because
No.
Right,
This
this
is
is
Brantley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brantley's
Okay.
opinion.
Bikes.
I think building for walkability is super important. But if I had to choose walk somewhere or bike somewhere, I would
But
How
I
many-
also think anybody who's a part of Bike Walk would also say bike.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think that's true. I don't think Louise
Really?
would have said that. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
walking.
She walk.
Team
walk.
I was gonna ask, how many bikes do you own?
I'm down to 3.
Okay, that's pretty good, honestly.
From like 8.
Okay, 8 is a lot.
It was
So
a good
what's
time to
the-
sell at
what's
the beginning of the pandemic.
What is the point in having this off script? What's the point in having, like, are they different?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All of them are different.
Uh-huh.
There's 8.
I think
different
Tyler
types
has 3. Yeah.
There are way more than 8 different types. of
No,
bikes.
yeah. But like, wow, I would have never thought.
Okay.
Or what 3 types do you have right now?
So I have a big old cargo bike with like the
Okay,
front
yep.
end loading section off the front. I don't ride that
kinda
one all that
cool.
much. It's actually maybe my most fun bike.
Okay.
Like I'm not putting on airs. It's like a really fun bike to ride. I have my daily commuter, my orange one that I have in the office. It was a pretty nice cyclocross racing bike at one point, but I've put goofy handlebars on it, and I call it my beater. Like I throw it around.
Yeah,
and
it's like
I worry about it.
retired.
Whatever.
It's just living a good life.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's all scratched up and it's earned all of its scars. And then I have the bike that I race across the country on, which is
Mm.
handmade
I was gonna
in
ask
the
if you
US.
still had that one.
Oh yeah, it's never going away.
Yeah, that's a little
I ride to the office
artifact.
occasionally.
Yeah.
It's still a great bike. I still ride it occasionally. So I sold my fancy race bike. I sold my time trial bike. So many people might call them a triathlon bike,
Okay.
which is like the ones where you see people
Yeah.
like, down like that.
Yeah.
So that was a very, very,
Are they
very,
looking
very
where they're
fast
going
bike.
when they're doing that?
I'm one of those people, dude. Yes, sometimes.
I
Probably
think sometimes.
if you want to be
Tyler
really,
has one of those.
if you want to be super competitive, we're going way off.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
Now
you
it's
can
a
find
good
all
part of
this-
this podcast.
Know this.
Currently, the Giro d'Italia, the Tour of Italy,
Mhm.
is underway. So you can find that on YouTube if you want to watch some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Time trialing is a specific discipline where you're riding by yourself almost all the time. Sometimes they have team time trials. And the thing that slows you down the most as a bike racer is wind. So if you're riding by yourself, you're trying to complete a closed course as fast as you can. So you're really fighting the wind as much as you can. So you tuck yourself in this tight little bubble as you can. And one of the biggest drags is your head. It's the farthest from the ground.
Our head.
And
Yeah.
I got a big, so to be competitive, you'll see they tuck behind their head like this, and they really only look up like every once in a while.
I'd crash.
So do they know where they're going?
Yeah.
Instinctively, yeah.
I bet it's like
I would do
muscle,
that.
like they've done like trials.
You're mostly looking at the ground in front of you, and then you look up there once in a while
That is wild.
at 30 miles an hour.
When I ride a bike, I ride like really. My back is like ramrod.
That's a great one. That's a great one. There's no wrong way.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I did see a video like a few weeks ago of like pack of riders and the wind blew and one person blew and then knocked down a bunch of people. And I was like, man, I would be so mad. But like also the wind knocking you over.
Was it bike racing? Was it in a race or was it just a group of people? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're riding so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, whoosh, just knock down everybody. Ouch.
Yeah, you and Jordan should come look at the Bryan Park races on Tuesdays.
Oh.
It's on the Bike
Tuesdays,
Month calendar. I saw it. I live right next to Bryan Park, so that's we walk over there.
21st and 28th. I think it's the 50th anniversary of the summer series. It's within 2 years. Like it could be more than
bikes?
50. No,
no,
but they're
fast.
Bikes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was by.
I mean, the one that I saw. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And you used to ride in it sometimes. Yeah.
I won one.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not. Being in it is an accomplishment to me. So
I wouldn't be able to keep all these days.
Big snaps for winning one. But no, they're fun to go to. We go to probably maybe 2 a year at least. Yeah.
There's a party
hang
corner
out.
too, so like
that's my preferred area to be at.
The route is like oval shaped with a bottom corner and a top corner, and the bottom corner it's fairly tight, so they go a little bit slower, and it's also where like crashes might happen. So people like get lawn chairs and hang out and get snacks and out there, and there's like 30 or 40 people heckling, like go faster next time.
Okay.
Your hair is too long, stuff like that. So it's a party corner. It's fun.
Yeah, cool. It's fun.
Bike culture.
It's great. Well, if you want to know more about bike culture, get involved in the bike culture, you need to come celebrate RVA Bike Month and go to rvabikemonth.com. Check out all of the events that we've got going on, and then also just head on over to sportsbackers.org and find out more about bike walks.
Sign up for our newsletter.
Yeah.
Know everything.
And see you at a groundbreaking or ribbon cutting for the fall line soon.
Yeah. Sounds great. Thanks, Brantley.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye.